today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Chicago Bears taking on the New York Giants.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The Giants go to work on offense for the first time, and it's Daniel Jones leading the way, the number 6 pick in the 2019 draft.
A little bit of broken record time, partner, because we know that this young man, Daniel Jones, was a surprise.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fighting him off. Still going. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bears take over. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
A 6-yard pick.
The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 13 carries, 71 yards.
And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. On play action, they'll throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Oh, you got to feel it, baby.
And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. See if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken in at the 11. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Score Bears 7, Giants nothing.
2nd and 4. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a run with Montgomery. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Number 32, David.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 17-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Harris. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
The 3-yard line.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Demetrius Harris, his first touchdown of the new season as the Bears push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Eddie Pinheiro with kickoff for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard.
And time to spotlight Golden Tate. You better believe it. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And now Not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
A reminder, still some good games coming up here in Week 2 of the NFL. Later tonight, a rematch from that Super Bowl a few years back. New England visits Seattle up in the Northwest. And then on Monday night, we'll be there. The first regular season NFL game ever played in the state of Nevada. The New Orleans Saints and the Las Vegas Raiders from Allegiant Stadium. That should be something. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. On second down now, it's Patterson. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
That's good for us.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
At the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field.
That's good for a Chicago Bears.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Ryan.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Credit Julian Love with a pass breakup.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
17.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Shelling through the defense. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
Pass interference, defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
Defensively by Logan Ryan.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Well, how about that one? He reeled it in one-handed for a touchdown. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, and maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Very short kick. Now a hit and a loose football. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Bears take over first and 10. At their own 19.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
Taken down at the 40.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 13-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Flush to his right. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24.
Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Broken tackle. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Tackle made at the 20.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in the game.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I always thought Allen Robinson was a high flyer from his days at Penn State, and none of that has changed with the Chicago Bears. If you throw the ball out to the perimeter, if it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not, he's going to come down with it. And some say he was the victim of some subpar quarterback play last year. He didn't let that bother him at all. Still had 98 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving. Allen Robinson just goes out and plays hard each and every week.
He was taken down.
Blake Martinez, 2nd in the league in tackles last year, gets another there. Harris. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up the 3rd down.
At the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we play 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Finds his target, Montgomery. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Montgomery. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
The ball carrier.
He's run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That's a gain of
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They run with Harris. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
back on the scramble.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain. Able to get away. But in the end, the
pressure too great, and he goes down.
Like the footwork back there. I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way.
The score, Bears 34, Giants 7.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. On 4th down, Jones. And Ingram hauls it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Now it's Patterson. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. On 1st down, Patterson. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
Today's final score, Bears.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bears.